We are going through the chapter Making of Pakistan. In the previous lesson, we have discussed Pakistan Resolution, and in detail we have discussed Qaid's address, text of resolution and reaction of different political parties. Today we are going to cover the topic Cripps Mission of 1942, in which we will analyze the proposals of Cripps Mission and the reaction of political parties. For this purpose, you have to focus on your textbook page number 23 to 24. Our objectives for today: by the end of the lesson, students will be able to discuss the Cripps Mission of 1942, and we will analyze that what were the aspects that led to this mission's failure. Now let's see what are the details of this Cripps Mission of 1942. Here you are viewing the picture of a Britisher talking to Mr. Gandhi, and there are other political leaders as well. So who is this person? This person is Sir Stafford Cripps. The British government sent a mission to the subcontinent in 1942. It was headed by Sir Stafford Cripps. There was a purpose behind sending this mission to the subcontinent. The purpose includes: it tried to unite all the political parties to some points, but it failed in its attempt. Cripps did not declare any party responsible for the failure of the mission. Rather, he accepted himself the failure. He didn't blame any of the political party, neither Congress nor Muslim League, that this mission has failed. Rather, he said that it was the failure at the end of his willpower, that he didn't convince the political leaders. As the Muslims had made demand for Pakistan through Pakistan Resolution, and leaders of Congress also launched movements against the government, because Congress has anticipated the defeat of the British in World War II from 1935 till 1945. It had decided that Japanese would now decide the future of the subcontinent. So they were ready to face the consequences. The first proposal made by Sir Stafford Cripps was: after the war, the subcontinent will be under the Crown, but the British government would avoid interfering in internal and as well as the external affairs. This proposal means that although the government will be of the British Crown, but they will not interfere in any of the matters regarding the political parties residing in India. So they will be given autonomy to practice their policies within the country. The second proposal made by this mission: defense, foreign affairs, communication, etc. will be handed over to the Indians. It means they will be responsible for the defense, for the foreign affairs and the communication structure of the subcontinent. Moreover, they will be handling it, and they will be responsible for making people work in these particular departments. The third proposal made by this mission was about constitution formation. The members of the provincial legislative assemblies will elect a central assembly for framing the constitution. After the constitution is made, it will be sent to all provinces for confirmation. The provinces which would not approve the constitution would have the authority to establish their independent status. It means the provinces will have power to accept or reject the constitution. If they don't agree to the constitution, they can create their own set of laws on which they can create their independent status in the provinces. The last proposal made by this particular mission includes: appropriate steps will be taken for the security of minorities. It means the minorities residing in the subcontinent will have protection, and they will have the right to formulate their government and the right to elect their leaders as well. So minorities at that time were Muslims that were given the authority to visualize their own stance, and they can lead different movements to convince the government in favor of their rights and responsibilities. Now let us discuss how different political parties reacted to this Cripps mission. At first, it is the reaction of Muslim League. There was a hidden sign of accepting the Muslim League demand of a separate homeland. That is, the provinces having Muslim majority could reject the constitution and they can establish their independent status. Thus, there was a possibility of creation of Pakistan according to this proposal. Muslim League also expressed its satisfaction towards the proposals, as with reference to the protection of rights of minorities, as they were the minority at that time in the subcontinent. After long deliberations, Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh and all India Muslim League refused to accept the proposals made by Cripps on the grounds that the demand of Pakistan was not instantaneously accepted in clear words. As there was no such proposal made in this Cripps mission that specifies that they are going to accept the Pakistan resolution. Now let us analyze how Congress reacted to this particular mission. Gandhi and his political party, All Indian National Congress, also rejected the proposals. They disapproved the authority given to the provinces to reject the constitution, as they were well aware that if this authority is given to the provinces, so the Muslim majority provinces are going to reject the particular constitution and they can formulate their independent status. That's why they reacted in this way. Moreover, Congress was not convinced to accept any ambiguous or unambiguous proposal regarding the partition. I suggest you to read your textbook page number 23 till page number 24. The assignment for this particular lesson is you have to memorize and write the Cripps mission proposals. You are knowing there are 4 proposals that you have to write and memorize. Hope you have understood this topic. Let us have a quick recap of what we have learned today. In today's Cripps mission, we have learned proposals were made by Sir Stafford Cripps. This mission was sent by the British government. Muslim League was satisfied with some proposals, such as the security of minorities and rejection of constitution by the provinces. Congress rejected it completely due to the power given to the provinces. Cripps mission of 1942 was a failure and it failed to achieve its acceptance from political parties. Hope you have understood the topic. Stay safe, stay home. Pakistan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz. Today we are going to be starting off 2 new topics from 1944. The first topic is Jinnah Gandhi Talks of 1944 and CR Formula of 1944. For this purpose, you have to focus on your textbook page number 24 till page number 26. For this lesson, the objective is, by the end of the lesson, you will be able to understand the purpose of Jinnah Gandhi Talks and CR Formula of 1944. So now let us discuss Jinnah Gandhi Talks of 1944. Here you are visualizing the picture of Mr. Jinnah and Mr. Gandhi, taken from September 1944. These Jinnah Gandhi talks were basically set to resolve the issues in between the two parties. Gandhi wrote a letter to Quaid-e-Azam in July 1944. He wrote, "My heart was asking me to write you a letter. I can meet you when you wish. Don't think me the enemy of Islam or the Muslims. I am not only the friend and servant of you, but of the whole world. Don't disappoint me. After reading this letter, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah replied to this letter in these words. Quaid-e-Azam proposed the meeting in Bombay in the mid of August. However, the meeting started in September. It was decided that the meeting will be conducted not just as a verbal discussion, but it is better to exchange letters so that the record of the viewpoints of both the parties may be preserved. In this very meeting, Gandhi said clearly that he represented nobody but himself. He said that he was not meeting with Quaid-e-Azam as a representative of Congress. Quaid-e-Azam objected to it and stressed that unless talks are not held between the representatives of two nations, he could not hope to reach some positive result. The talks started from the point of Pakistan resolution based on the two-nation theory. During the talks, Gandhi refused to accept the two-nation theory, and that was really disappointing for Mr. Jinnah. Now let us discuss the proposals made by Gandhi in these talks. After having a dialogue and correspondence with Quaid-e-Azam, Gandhi said that although he was not the supporter of the two-nation theory, yet if Muslim League wanted to put Lahore resolution into practical form, this issue should be delayed. First, they should achieve the freedom from the British collectively. Afterwards, Congress and Muslim League may settle the issue of Pakistan mutually. Quaid-e-Azam gave the reply to this proposal, and he said that he had judged that the style adopted by Gandhi is nothing but cheating and hypocrisy and cunningness. He emphasized that the British must settle the issue of Pakistan before the freedom of India, because Congress and Hindus could not be relied upon. As Quaid-e-Azam was well aware that Congress is very shrewd and they don't let Lahore resolution to be practically implemented. This was the reason Quaid-e-Azam didn't accept the proposals made by Gandhi. Then Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was tried to be trapped by Gandhi through the CR formula. British government crushed the Quit India movement launched by Gandhi forcefully and put Gandhi behind the bars. His movement died out. Now Gandhi tried to weaken Muslim League by trapping Quaid-e-Azam in a conspiracy. Gandhi used Chakravarti Rajgopal Acharya and asked him to express opinion about the partition of India. Chakravarti Rajgopal Acharya, along with Gandhi, tried to formulate a strategy to convince Muslim League so that they can support them in getting independence from the British. Here I must tell you who was Chakravarti Rajgopal Acharya. He was a leader of All Indian National Congress. He belonged to Madras. He was known in the public as Rajaji. Rajgopal Acharya and Gandhi finalized the formula in March 1944. This formula is known as CR formula. In the meantime, correspondence between Quaid-e-Azam and Gandhi, who was in jail, continued. The formula was sent to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah in April. This formula includes some mutual agreements that are to be accepted by Muslim League and Congress. While the formula was sent to Quaid-e-Azam on 8th April 1944, the first aspect of this formula is the basis of an agreement between Congress and Muslim League. Gandhi and Quaid-e-Azam will agree it and they will try to approve it from their respective parties. At the end of the war, a commission would be appointed to demarcate the districts having a Muslim population in absolute majority And in those areas, plebiscite would be conducted on the basis of all would vote the inhabitants, including the non-Muslims, were adult. The League was to endorse the Indian demand for independence and to cooperate with the Congress in formation of provincial interim government for a transitional period. It means that the Congress wanted support from Muslim League in the struggle of independence and the formation of a temporary government. The fourth aspect includes all parties would be allowed to express their stance on the partition and their views before the plebiscite. Plebiscite means the popular voting system in which the masses cast a vote and decide the future of their province or their region. In the event of separation, a mutual agreement would be entered into for safeguarding essential matters such as defense, communication, and commerce, and for other essential services. The sixth aspect includes the transfer of population, if any, would be absolutely on a voluntary basis. The term of the binding will be applicable only in case of full transfer of power by Britain to Government of India. So these were the points of the CR formula of 1944. I suggest you to read your textbook page number 24 till page number 26 for the details. The assignment for this particular topic is you have to memorize and write Qaid's reply in Jinnah Gandhi talks. Now let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. We have analyzed the Jinnah Gandhi talks of 1944. We have discussed the tactics of Congress by presenting the CR formula. The terms of the CR formula were a trap for Muslim League so that they can support them in the struggle to get independence from the British. Moreover, this formula was unacceptable by Muslim League as it does not include the demand of Pakistan resolution. Neither they talked about the minorities' security of subcontinent clearly. The formula was very ambiguous and was in the favor of Congress. Hope you have understood the topic. Stay home and stay safe. Pakistan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz. In the previous lesson, we have discussed in detail Jinnah Gandhi talks of 1944 and CR formula. We have also analyzed the purpose of these talks and CR formula of Gandhi and Chakravarti Rajgopalacharya. The topic that we are going to cover today is Simla Conference of 1945. For this purpose, you have to focus on your textbook page number 26 till page number 27. Let's see what are the objectives of today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to trace the points of Vival Plan in Shimla Conference. You are visualizing the picture of Shimla Conference in which the Lady Vival is talking to the delegates, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and some other representatives of political parties in India. After the failure of Cripps mission, All Indian National Congress began to pressurize the British government to finish its rule in India and transfer the powers to the majority party. Gandhi launched civil disobedience movement and Quit India movement. He asked the people to boycott the courts and offices. Show of power was demonstrated through meetings and processions. Whereas the World War II was turning in the favor of British and its allies. Seeing the changing circumstances, Congress tried to join hands with Muslim League in order to increase the pressure. Gandhi invited Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah to join the collective struggle, but he was intelligent and far-sighted enough to be trapped. Quaid-e-Azam refused to consider any formula other than the creation of Pakistan. Quaid-e-Azam refused to consider this formula. Here it specifies the formula that was introduced by Gandhi and Chakravarti Rajagopalacharya. Lord Wavell called a conference to think over the issues of the subcontinent. Lord Wavell was the British Viceroy in India. He announced to call for a conference to think over the issues to be resolved so that decisions could be taken regarding the constitution of the future, formation of the government and elections of the assembly. The plan included the constitution of future will be made with the will of all the political parties. It means when the constitution formation is going to take place, all the political forces will be asked about it and they will give their recommendations. Moreover, the Viceroy's Executive Council will be reconstituted. Representatives of all the political forces will be selected for it. 6 Hindus and 5 Muslim representatives will be included in the Executive Council. This particular point in this Wavell plan specifies that not only Britishers are going to be included in this Executive Council, but also Hindus and Muslims will be given chance to represent in this government formation. This point was added in this plan to convince the Muslim and Hindu leaders that they are of equal importance for the British government and they consider their point of view as essential for running the government smoothly. Governor General will preside over the Executive Council. All the members of the Executive Council will belong to the subcontinent except for the Commander-in-Chief. That means the Commander-in-Chief will be a Britisher. After reconstituting the Executive Council in the center, Executive Council will be reconstituted in all the provinces. So the formation of the government at the center and all the provinces was discussed in this plan. I suggest you to read your textbook page number 26 till page number 27 and you have to write the points of the Wavell plan and also memorize these points. Now let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. Today we have discussed in detail the purpose of holding the Shimla conference. Lord Wavell, who tried to resolve the issues of the political parties, he presented a plan to formulate a constitution in which we have discussed the central and the provincial executive council. The membership in Executive Council was addressed in this plan, in which 6 Hindus and 5 Muslims were selected for the presentation in the Executive Council, whereas the Commander-in-Chief is still going to be a Britisher. Hope you have understood the topic. Stay safe, stay home, Pakistan, Zindabad. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.